Hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another live decoupage tutorial project. My name is Michele, and I'm the owner of Vintage Revival Design Co., and I'm in Northern Virginia. If you pop on here, say hello. Today we've got a pretty simple project, but we're going to be upcycling some scrap wood, I guess. So let me pull up my project table here. Let's see if we've got that. Okay, we're here. All right, so I bought an old fence post. And cut it down into 3 sizes. And one of them I've already pre-prepared. This is the one that we're going to do tonight, and then we'll do the others. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? It's Charlottesville. And so, wow, you're in Charlottesville, Virginia? Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that's only, about, I want to say like 2.5 hours from me. But anyway, wow, we're close enough to actually get together, Cheryl. That would be awesome. Hi, Royce. How are you? So anyway, this is an old fence post, and I have a favorite salvage place that I go to in Pennsylvania, and she always has like barn boards and all kinds of architectural salvage. And so I picked up a great big fence post, cut it down to 3 sizes, and we are going to be, let me show you kind of the idea. We're going to be decoupaging this. And then what I want to do is I'm going to add, I have these rusty candle pans. And so we're going to do that on top. And then I've got some little rusty bits and some ribbon, and we're going to decorate it up for the holidays, and it would have a candle on top. So I'll show you all of that. So we're just going to do the one piece together tonight, and we're going to be using a really great paper for this. We're going to be using the corrugated metal paper. And so this is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And when I saw it together with the rusty bits that I had, I just thought, okay, this is perfect. So we'll do something with this, okay? And let's talk a little bit about how I prepared this, though. So I decided to go ahead and stain. You can see this is how it comes out here. And so I went ahead and I stained this with the walnut stain, and then I sealed it. And then I painted this white so that my decoupage paper will show up to its best. I want that to really be the feature of the project. Now, the reason that you want to go ahead and stain before you decoupage, stain and seal before you decoupage, is that when we seal the stain, if we get it, so let's start here. If I had just decoupaged this and I'd be using my sealer to seal it, it could easily come up on this area. And what that would do is seal this wood so that it would resist the stain. And so we don't want that, because then it ends up looking splotchy in the places that we got sealer. And even when we're being super careful, it happens. So I recommend the parts that you want to be all stained, do those first before you do the rest of it. Because if you get a little stain or something on the painted area, you can always paint over that. But once you've sealed that stain, that's it. So stain first, then paint. Okay. So that is my tip. And let me make sure I've got my plastic wrap. This is you can see that this is not completely smooth. It's got little divots. And so for this, the best option for me for my decoupage is to use plastic wrap, because when we ball that up, it allows us to get, to push the paper into those grooves. So I won't be using the little felt squeegee. So I've got to lay this out, and we are going to cut the strips for the other pieces. I had to decide, because most of the super cool rusty goodness on this paper is up here, and you can see that it gets less when it comes down here. But I definitely want that rust everywhere. And so, or at least on each of the 3, because I'm going to do this in a set of 3, even though we're just going to do this one tonight. So when I lay out this paper, I have a choice. I could have my metal going vertically, or I could have it going horizontally. And I think because I am going to be doing a horizontal ribbon around this to attach my rusty arms, that I'm going to go ahead and have this go vertically. And I felt like that would give me enough. That way I could have rest everywhere, right? So when I kind of laid these out, and I was really, really grateful because I do have enough paper, if I'm careful, to go about here. So I'm going to position this one up a little bit just so that I get enough paper. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a little crease up here just to give myself a little guide. I'm just folding it and just doing a little crease here. And then I'll just try to be as straight as I possibly can. So this way I can get all three done in one sheet of paper, and I'll even have a little bit left. So I'm going to go ahead and take that area that I did, and I'm going to just try to fold it down about here, right? Line up my edges so that I get it somewhat straight. I'm not always the best at that, but I just want to use that. And then I'll have enough paper to do the other ones too. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this out. I've got to turn on my glue gun too, so that we'll be ready for adding the little charm and the jingle bell. I think we're going to add both, but I'm not sure. We can see what we think once we get this done. Okay, so this is going to be much longer than I need, but it gives me some options to make them all just a little bit different and still have all that rusty goodness on here, which is what I want. I love this paper. I don't think I've worked with it yet. So I thought, oh, that would be great. I actually, y'all, I took a nap today. And if my husband were here, he'd tell you that that's unheard of. But I did. I took a nap today, and then I got up and I was like, oh no, what am I going to make? Because I hadn't decided what we were going to do. I had like 3 or 4 projects in mind, and I just wasn't sure. But I have so many of these little pieces of the post that I thought this would be really good. I'll just work with this. So I don't have what I don't have. Let's see. Do I have? All right, I'll use this. I've got a little paint palette up here because I forgot to get a dish for my decoupage medium. So instead of doing 4 sides separately, I'm going to try to go ahead and wrap this. And I want to see, I'll probably have the really tall one be super, super rusty. And I'll do the other, others just so they vary a little bit, right? So they're not all like this. And, but I think I definitely I'm trying to just see if I wrapped, what would I get? And they can all be just a little bit different, and I can wrap it in the back because that'll match up. Hi, Dorothy, how are you? And I think I see Denise. Hello, Denise, how are you? It's nice to see you here. Thanks everybody for saying hello. I really appreciate that. It's nice to know you're not out here just talking to yourself or creating by yourself. It's so much more fun to do it together. So I'll save this because, you know, that's another project, right? Always save your scraps because you can use them. So I've got more than I need here, but we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to just start at one spot. Let's see. I'm going to line it up on one. And before I attach this one, rather than, I might do a little white paint or I might just cut it to fit. I don't know. But I think I want it to kind of come a little bit meet in the middle. So I'm going to, let's see, how's that going to go? I think I can work with something like that, right? And already just wrapped like this, I think it looks wonderful. Hi, Sandy, how are you? And Dana, hey, how are you? So let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to get just a ball of plastic wrap. You'll see. I think it really depends on your project, what tool you use to smooth down your decoupage paper. A brayer really wouldn't work on this because it wouldn't be able to go down into the, you know, this is pretty rough. This is pretty rough wood. So having something that's going to help you push that decoupage paper into your project is good. So I always recommend having the felt squeegee and having a brayer available and also plastic wrap, because those are really great tools. So I'm just going to get a brush here, and I'm using Wise Owl's 1 Hour Enamel Decoupage Medium. It's just my preferred medium. I hope I'm not going in and out. My internet looks like it's been a little rough for a couple of days. So I hope we're doing okay. Let me know if I'm stuck or if I've gone away or anything like that. So I'm going to put just a good coat. I want to get good coverage on here. I went over an area that I'm not actually going to be decoupaging right now because that's going to wrap, but that's okay. I think we'll be all right. I've got a lot of divots, so I'm going to take my time and go in and make sure that I have medium that is going down there. I normally wouldn't be so heavy with my medium, but I definitely want to make sure that it's getting down in all of these rough places on the wood. So again, I think it just depends on your project. Normally, we like to work on really smooth surfaces, but we've decoupaged baskets together and all kinds of things. So there's always a way to do this. And so I'm going to go ahead and wrap my paper like this, and I'm going to pull it here, smooth it down as much as I can, and then I'm going to use, I am not being too gentle. And then I'm going to be able to show you how this is going down into the rough areas of the wood, which is absolutely what I wanted. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that decoupage medium that I put in there because that was just a mistake going over a little too far, because remember, I'm going to go ahead and cut this and then wrap it. So I'll just have a little bit of an area back here, but we're really not going to notice that. And we have Olivia here and Victoria. Hello. Thank you so much for saying hi and for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get this part done. So I've got that, and I'm going to start away from that crease because I don't want a bunch of medium to soak down where that crease is, but I definitely want to pay attention to my edge. And again, I'm just going a little heavier than I normally would just to make sure that I'm getting in all of the rough areas. I love this paper, and I was really excited that I still had some rusty embellishments to go with it. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to attach my candle tin. I am considering doing like countersinking a screw in it, like a rusty screw, but I'm not really sure. So this is just, and actually, you know, what I loved was that I chose that paper because this paper really, look how great that matches. So I don't even know if I'd really have to, if I really needed to paint it, but I thought, let's just go ahead and paint it. I just want to make sure that this shows up really well. And so we've got this part, and then we'll get that other side done. So again, I'm just kind of starting in the middle, not going near my paper. I didn't wet my paper to stretch it this time. I have enough paper, and I thought, you know, this is already rough a little bit, but it'll be okay. It will be good. So we're going to get this on here. I'm going to pick up some of this here, get these edges here, get a little bit more. And just again, make sure that that goes in. I'm kind of looking to see if I've missed any spots, because this would be a tough one to, you know, pick up and everything. So I'm holding back here, kind of giving some leverage with my fingers and pulling this pretty taut before I set it down, and then smooth it. And then let's use plastic wrap. And I love how it just helps it go into, so I've still got that, you know, that really rough, worn wood underneath. And I think it adds to the corrugated metal paper. All right, so here's the part that we want to decide. Oh no, okay, we're not there yet. I was getting ahead of myself. So let me get a little more medium in here. And I am actually going to do these and put them in the shop. And I prefer to do odd numbers of things. So if I make a little vignette or something like that, I want it to be, just a single or a set of 3 or 5, something like that. So I like to do these in sets of 3 and in varying sizes so that they, I don't know, I just think it just looks better like that instead of 2. There's nothing wrong with symmetry, and I definitely have that too, but for these, I like a little set of 3. And okay, I imagine them like in a tray or, on a table or an island or something like that. So let's go ahead and pull this taut. Again, I just use my fingers as like a guide here. Set that down. And then we're going to use our plastic wrap to push that in like that, right? Get that all in there. Okay, now here's the part that I want to decide where I want that to meet up. I don't mind if there's a little overlap, but I'm going to go ahead and fold this back right about where this meets. Hi, Beverly, how are you? And I'm going to just there. That way I'm not feeling like I really have to paint it white or anything like that under the decoupage paper. It would really show up differently if I just layered the paper on top. So I'm going to cut as carefully as I can. I give myself a little wiggle room. And we're going to go ahead and join that. And I'm going to start here away from the crease. And again, a little bit heavier. This is where it's super rough right in here. I want to make sure I get that edge and where the paper meets. If we don't have medium under there, it's just going to be a big bubble because it won't stick. All right, so let's go ahead and push that down. This one I'm going to see, I didn't do that little lift thing. This one's going to be a little tougher. Get a little wrinkle right there. And see, so that lines up really, really nicely by doing it that way. Hi, Jill. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Yes, Cheryl. I love this paper. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I'm going to wipe back a little bit of my excess. Now, this could be a little tricky to sand. So what I'm going to do, my scissors are sticking. I'm really hard on my scissors, you guys. What is going on here? I've got another pair. Hold on in here. I've got a little doodad pair like this. So let's try this. All right. So what I'm going to do is just cut at those corners right here. And I'm going to sand it and then seal it. And then we may even stain it. I don't know. I haven't decided what if I'm going to stain it. I don't know. I just love it the way it is. So maybe we're just going to leave a good thing good and not mess with it. But here I'm just doing this. And this is going to, I hope, help me to sand this a little bit. All right. So let me get a sanding block. Oh, goodness. I hope I've got a good one. I should have gotten that little one that I got at Carmen's. All right, so let's go. So now I've got an edge to do, and I'm just going to sand this off here. I needed a sharper, maybe better sanding block. Ugh, sorry guys, I forgot about that. I have a bunch of sanding pads in my cart. And then let me get that. Yeah, I might stain this just to take care of the edges. I don't know, but we're getting there. All right, so we're going to, just by cutting those little corners, it makes it a little easier to get that paper off in the strips. But I needed I really needed a stronger one. Okay, so it's a little too wet right here. I'm gonna go here. And just, I'll be a little more gentle here. I don't want to tear my paper. Oh gosh, guys. All right, hold on. Do I have a better one? Oh, come on. Let's see if this one's any better. It's a little bit better. Not a ton, but it's a little bit better. Can I get that right there? And then right there. And then we're going to just take off that bit. but I like the stain with the corrugated metal. And oh, thanks, Cheryl. And I am going to just come here and let's do that. So I went to the movies today. That's another thing I haven't done. I was gone, I had my own retreat and then I went to Colorado and all of that. And my son usually works nights. And so he had the day off. And so before I left for Colorado, we made a date to go to the movies today. And super fun. So we went to a movie and we went and had lunch. And it was really fun. So that was really good. We saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. I didn't love it as much as I loved probably the first one. But it was just fun to be out with him. And I still like the movie. It's such a sweet family. They're so crazy and loving all at the same time. So that was really fun. Let me see if I've got, I could use the burn method, but I am not going to. I guess that's the best way to say it. I guess I could. I don't usually do that, but I thought I would just do this. I'm actually not going to put these back in my cart. I'm going to put them in a bag that I use for things when I don't need a heavy duty sanding block, like when I just need something super smooth. Okay, and I'm going in a downward motion here, and we've got one more little strip to do. Okay. There we go. Oh, good grief. Okay. So now is when I want to check and make sure that everything I don't have any loose edges or anything like that. And I don't. This is one of the things that I don't enjoy when I'm doing something like this, when I've got a lot of sanding. So I'm not really always crazy about like these little white edges here. So I will definitely use a little stain there, but I need to seal my paper first. So we're going to go ahead and seal it with that same medium, which is the Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel. And yes, I know, Cheryl, a nap too. That was like, oh my goodness. And the funny thing is that I rarely take a nap. And so when my husband and my son, when I say I'm going to take a nap, they're like, holy cow. And then they're so sweet. They're like super quiet, or, it's really nice. They're really good to me. And so we're just sealing this up. I'm going to do 2 sides and go ahead and dry this before I stain it up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I won't really notice that. Maybe I can just ink those edges because I really just kind of want to leave the paper as it is. Actually, I can set it down like this. So let's go ahead and seal this. And then that way I can just do it all at one time. And I'm going to try to hold this up close to the camera so that you see how really beautifully the paper went into those grooves. And so I like that a lot. That 2-hour difference at Carmen's, I really didn't feel it until yesterday. And it was, I thought, oh gosh, 2 hours isn't going to be a big deal. But Cheryl, I felt it yesterday for sure. All right, did I seal everything? Okay, let me get my little heat gun. We're going to go ahead and seal this up. And then I think I'm going to be able to leave it. Oh no, my glue gun went down. All right, let's go ahead and dry this up. And then we will go ahead. Oh, I've got something sticking right here, a little scrap. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do our ribbon on this and go from there. Karen, this is the corrugated metal paper. It's beautiful, isn't it? And so I think I really think these will look great, especially since I'm doing, the varying sizes. I think that'll be fun. So we're going to do that. I'm looking for questions in here. I don't see anything yet. So I think we're good. I got one that says show, hide. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. I wasn't sure what that is. Yes. So yeah, from Dulles to Charlottesville. Yes, that is quite a long drive. I flew out of Reagan. So I flew out of DCA. So that is the closest airport to me. But Dulles really, I mean, I could go either way, really, Cheryl. It doesn't matter. But I prefer to fly out of Reagan when I can. It's just, for me, it's a little bit easier to get through than having to go through the shuttle process to the gates at Dulles. But, we do what we need to do to get where we want to go. So let's see if I've got this. Okay, so now we have this, and I want to show you how I'm hoping you can see how it went in. I'll try to, okay, here, this is a good one. So this is where the wood was really, really rough. And now it's just in there. So it just really melded into that wood block. So I like that. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? The other Cheryl with an S. And hi, Marie. How are you? It's nice to see you. And so remember, this is what we're going to do. I've got the 3 sizes. They'll all be done in this, right? I've got the 3 sizes. And so now I don't know how I'm going to attach this candle tin yet. Probably some glue, but I'm thinking I might countersink something in here, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and do the decoration of this, but this is still a little wet right here. I've got a little bit of a wet spot. But I love this because it really does look like rusted metal, and I like the contrast of the metal with the stained wood. Oh, thank you, Marie. It is nice to be back too. I just last Wednesday, I was just packing, and I was unpacking from my event and packing up for another event, to go out to Colorado. And yeah, so I'm back, and it's nice to be back and creating. So, oh my gosh, I just love how it went in all of those crevices. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's do that. So my idea is that I've got some burlap ribbon, and then I've got this little rusty thing here. And I've also got some darker wired ribbon, and I've got some jute. But I know that the first thing that I wanted to do was to just attach a little bit of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. And did my glue gun heat up? Do I have it on? I think I do. It's starting to heat up. All right. So I'm going to do just a little dab of glue to hold this, just a tiny bit here, just to keep that fold in place so it doesn't slip while I'm working on it. Okay. Woo. And then I've got to be careful that I don't burn myself. All right. So I'm going to see if I can even see where I joined that paper. And I almost really can't, which is a good sign. I'm thinking it's here, but I don't think it matters. What I want to decide is which part do I want to be the front? And I think I'm going to go with, I don't know. Let's go with this. Okay. So this will be, I don't know. Let's let this be the front. All right. So we're going to let that be the front, which means this is going to be the back. And I'm going to just get enough ribbon to go around here. So I'm going to just do a length of that. And I will cut it a little bit so that my fold. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. So I'm going to go about there. It doesn't have to be like right in the middle because we're going to have things hanging down. So I'm going to lay this down like this, and I'm going to come under with this, and then I'll do that folded part on top of it. So that's why I like to do the folded part, is because it gives a little bit, it's just a little bit of a cleaner look. And I'm going to be putting these in the shop. So I want to make sure that they're nice and neat, right? And we have Marie and Patty. Oh, Marie loves the paper. Hi, Patty. And hi, Joanne. How are you? All right, let's go. Let's do a little, I'm just going to do a little glue here. Just a little hot glue and put that down. Okay. And yep. And then I'm going to take this, and this has already got some hot glue on it. So I'm going to pull this as tight as I can. Whoops, I'm moving it. Pull that as tight as I can. And we're going to, I don't want to stretch it too much. So I'm going to kind of pull here. Okay. And I'm going to go like this. Okay. So now we've got this on, and I can straighten it out a little bit. But what I also want to do is, I thought that this is like a wire jute ribbon. And I thought it would be a nice contrast to wrap it around twice, but it's not going to bend super well. It's just too stiff. So let's just go with the jute and the rusty bits. Okay. So I'm going to just take a long length. I want to go around it probably twice. And I'm going to start in the front this time. And we're going to go like this so that I've got two pieces. And I don't mind if I waste a little bit of the jute. It's okay. I want there to be enough to go around it. Okay. And so I'm going to cut this one, let that loose. Okay. All right. I'm going to let that loose. So I'm going to then just tie a knot here. Hi, Maria. How are you? I'm going to just go ahead like this, hold it like this. And then I want to try to tie a little knot here, just because it'll make it easier for me to work. Okay, I'm going to pull that tight. Then what I want to do is, I've got this, my rusty snowflake, and I'm going to come in. It's got the little punch outs in it. And so I'm going to come here just like this. And then I'm going to tie this into my jingle bell. At least that's what I think I'm going to do. Hold on. Let's see how I can get this. Okay. I'm glad I didn't have to get out the tape for this. And so we're going to do this. Just like this, right? And I'm going to tie it off again. Just like that. And the nice thing is that if you wanted to change this out for, say, fall, this isn't glued. This is just tied with the jute. So you could change out the embellishments on this and maybe do, something for fall. So let me see if I've got that. And we're going to go here. I want this to kind of come underneath too. So I'm going to do one more underneath the bell. Just like that, pull that tight, and then we will snip these like that. And then there you go. And so once we put the candle tin on it, it's going to look something like this. And then we've got a key. I know you can't see it because it's upside down, but we would have the candle in here. And I think it would be really cute. Or you could just set anything on it, or even just use them as the blocks. These would be cute, like little shelf sitters or something like that. So that's what I've got. I think it's a super simple project. And so you can go even to, if you don't have something like this, then you could go to your hardware store and look in their scrap wood pile where people cut things up. Maybe they didn't need a full length of something. And then you can, buy it that way. So it doesn't have to be old and grungy. You can beat it up with a hammer or nails or something like that and grunge it up too. So, whatever you don't let that stop you. So, but this is a great way to use just scrap blocks of wood. So anyway, you could even like, if it was, you could wrap it both ways and make it look like a present. You don't have to make it into a candle holder, but I'll show you what it looks like as a candle holder as soon as I get all 3 done. How's that? So anyway, really, really, really quick project tonight. And I hope you enjoyed it, and that you'll look at scrap wood in a different way, and that you'll just be making fun things. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad to be back, and wherever you are, I hope you are well, and I will see you next week. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments on replay, or if you think of something later, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. All right, everybody, take care and have a great night. Bye-bye.